let it drop. Let it drop.
Hello, Southwest Louisiana, and welcome to another episode of From Change to Change. My name is Marcus Simmons, better known as Chachi.
Hello, and I'm Crystal Simmons.
How y'all doing? I'm Butler Jones. All right.
And in honor of Second Chance Month, we decided that we wanted to do something a little different, something a little more profound. So we have my guest, Butler Jones, on the show, and also I'm here with my wife. So if you guys don't know, Butler Jones is actually my son, and if you do know, you know that it's been some circumstances and some situations that has happened, and I just would like to interview him and kind of we don't ever get a chance to meet because he lives a couple hundred miles away. So today is my birthday.
Yes.
Don't forget that. Today is my birthday, and he came into town last night, and I only saw fit that, I introduce him to you guys and give you a chance to get to know him a little.
Yes.
So Butler, how you doing, brother?
I can't complain, Dad. How you?
Yeah. Hey, man, this really feels good to have you close, man. I really wish that we could spend more time together, but this life.
Yeah.
So look, man, I wanted to ask you this. What's been going on in your life? Just recently. Like, what kind of moves you've been making?
Man, just really trying to get to school. I created a curriculum with you. So it's like really just trying to be the change. Trying to be the change.
The change. Yeah, that's important, man.
Yeah. That's
important. Speaking of being the change, man, I've gotten to see so many versions of you, man, and I don't know if the world has had a chance to see as many versions as I have. Now, I know that, the world is familiar with one version.
Right.
And then you kind of disappeared for a while,
And evolved.
Yeah, kind of evolved.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your story. Let the world know a little bit about your story, brother.
How y'all doing? I'm from Carencro, Louisiana. I come from a single parent household. I don't know, man. It was like before I was able to get away and, find self, I was heading down the wrong path, and just letting other people influence me and the environment, and coming up in Carencro, as y'all know, is a very, very small town. So it's a lot of nothing to do, a lot of mischief and, things that aren't actually like the best for a young black man to be getting into. So it wasn't until I got a chance to get away that I found myself.
And you was able to see the big picture.
Yeah.
And that's very important, man. Mm-hmm. That is very important. In fact, that is the most important, because I think that we get caught up in our own distractions as well, and that combines with the distractions of the world, because a lot of times we get in our own way.
Yes.
Yes. And then the world's in our way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that caused some very deep distractions, man, and we don't get a chance to stop and just be quiet. You know what I'm saying? And talk to ourselves. Let let ourselves talk to us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the reason you had to get away.
Yeah.
That was the reason.
Now, because I know y'all both personally, a little bit about your back history. Do you think it would have been different had you had your dad in your life at any point in time in your younger age?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Just a little transparency moment, you know what I mean? Growing up as my mama's only son, you know what I mean? It wasn't really a lot of role models other than, you know what I mean, the kind that you really need to stay away from. So with my dad, finding out who he is, you know what I mean, once he came home, it was like he was really inspiration, you know what I mean? I was able to really see the possibilities. And he brought a lot of insight. Like I tell him all the time, he was a couple years ahead of his time, you know what I mean, with the knowledge. So it's like seeing it all come back full circle, man, it's a beautiful thing, you know.
But prior to knowing this about me, prior to that, you know, I think that what happened was the world introduced me to you.
Yes.
Because
100%.
you were born while I was incarcerated, right? So you never had a chance to meet me personally ever. And the world introduced you to me, and the world introduced you to the me that I didn't want you to be introduced to. You know, and that's what made it so strange for you, because I wasn't that person that
everybody said you
that
were.
everyone said it was. So that's why it's important, man, that we, you know, that we find quiet, man, so that we can, you know, because and a lot of times it just be people just being themselves, like, you know, the wrong person can be one of these people that, you know, all they could talk about is yesterday, another person, you know, and we have to be conscious of that. You know what I mean? And the worst thing I think the world could have do was introduce you to me. You know what I'm saying?
That old version of you.
Cause that's what the old version of me, cause that's what made our introduction kind of awkward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I approached you like a father. I approached you from like a father instead of a street cat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The street cat that
Yeah.
you thought was your father.
Yeah. And then only having a certain just group of men, you know what I mean, who weren't necessarily on your level intellectually or even just spiritually. Meeting you, it was almost like a, nah, that's not my daddy. That can't be my daddy. Nah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not even gonna count, like kind of like on South Central. You remember whenever Bobby, what's his name, OG Bobby Johnson came home after the fact.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? His son was like, nah, man. You know, that was kind of like the experience for real.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But prior to that, you know, when I was away, you know, I guess that's what I really want to understand is the extent of my errors, how much it impacted you. You know what I'm saying? Because we run from reality.
True.
And my reality, my war became your reality.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm curious just to understand, like, you know, what did you really like have to, some of the things
How did that impact you?
you had to deal with, man.
Man, it's a lot. It was a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff that became internal, you know what I mean? Because being a man, you can't really show your emotions a lot, or, you know what I mean, show how things are necessarily affecting you. So it caused me to shut off a lot of my emotions, you know what I mean, without having proper guidance. Man, it's just so much, Pops. It's so much. It's so much.
Yeah, I know this is kind of
Yeah.
off guard and
Yeah.
short notice. Yeah.
But,
But I know some of the pain you felt because me not having my father is the reason you had to feel that.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So everything you felt, I felt. You know what I'm saying? Which is the reason why my second chance was important to me, so that I could fix what I broke, right? And your second chance is supposed to be an even better version of me fixing myself. Fixing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
because you got to fix everything.
I agree. I mean, I'm here for it, It's just been a lot of unlearning and relearning, you know what I mean? Old habits, old just people, places, and things that just no longer serve you, you know what I mean? You gotta learn to not necessarily cut ties, but you deal with it from a distance, you know what I mean? And still find time to be there for you. Like you've always taught me, don't lose yourself, So it's kind of like where it's been, you know what I mean? Coming from the isolation just internally, you know what I mean? Because I'm around everybody I love, all my family and stuff like that, but you can't really be yourself because you create this facade of who you are to the world as well, you know what I mean? And it really wasn't until I was able to get away that I was able to even give myself a chance to be who I truly am.
Yeah. To get in touch with that God in yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Now you think that level of growth also comes with, you already touched on it, about how you have to kind of disassociate yourself from people who they're not ready to grow.
Yeah.
You think that is always, is that always the bottom line? If you're not climbing?
Yeah, I mean, anything that ain't growing is dead. You know what I mean? So,
Good. Yeah.
it's you just got to be able to see it for what it is, and don't lie to yourself. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's okay that your path and someone else's path may have crossed, and then y'all gotta separate. You know what I mean? But it's just
So seasonal is okay. Sometimes people come in your life for a
I feel
season.
like everybody is seasonal to a degree. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because everybody is a lesson or a
Right.
version of self who you either need to learn from or learn what not to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't really take it as a loss per se, because, and Marcus touches on that too. I didn't really fail if I learned something from it.
Yes.
Right.
Moving forward.
Absolutely.
And that's why one of the best teachers I always had said, that's why the rearview mirror is smaller and the front, is 10 times bigger than that, because you gotta focus on. Don't forget that it's there. Don't forget those lessons and stuff like that you've learned, but keep going forward.
Right.
Because movement can be left, right, front,
Yes,
back, but
yes.
progress.
Yeah,
Yes.
you could be walking in place.
You're right. You could be walking in
Yeah.
place. Movement is correct, but progress is forward. So
Yes.
okay, I like that. Yeah.
So, son, what's your relationship with your God at this point?
Whew. I mean, it's a beautiful thing these days, you know what I mean, to even be able to tap in and know that God is inside of you, and you know what I mean, you are you microscopic, you know what I mean, fractal matter in the grand scheme of things, but the same spark that sparked the universe is inside of each and every one of us. That's right. That's a very powerful thing once you're able to tap into it, you know what I mean, source.
And I'm bringing that up because I remember a time, like I said, this is my birthday. This is pleasurous to me. This is the things I like to do. I like to be with family,
Right.
because I feel like that's the one thing I always missed in life. I never had. So I enjoy moments like this. But I really remember times when I couldn't even I remember the first time I told you that, man, find the God in you, man. Do you understand that you are God? And I remember the way you looked at me, and I remember the way, and I know you eased to your mom and say, man,
listen, I'm talking about that
tripping.
I'm talking about, I don't know what are you talking about. No, for real.
Yeah.
And then, like, again, man, it was almost like a guide, you know what I mean, in a sense, because you telling the kid to see the bigger picture, and then, so sorry, y'all. And then you actually see the big picture, and you take yourself out the picture to become an observer in a sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so, I gotta tell you, like, I appreciate you so much, for real, because without that, I would have thought I was going crazy. You know what I mean? And because for one, the world, we've been taught to kind of shun or disassociate with things we don't understand, But having you, it was like, nah, that's what he was talking about. Okay, you know what I mean? I can see where he coming from with this or that, or, you know what I mean? And then having conversations and stuff, and you just letting me know, like, listen, you're not tripping. That's just what we're dealing with in this war,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I heard, when Dick Gregory said it once, man, and remember when we went to see Dick Gregory? Dick Gregory said it once, man. Once you put those glasses on, you can never take it off.
Can't take them off.
Can never take them off, man. And that's what I was kind of like knowing. That's why I stood firm in being there. You know what I'm saying? Because man, you made it hard, brother. You made it rough, dog. But I knew that the day was gonna come, because I knew you was carrying some of me in you, man, some of my overstanding. And I knew when that time when it was gonna start hitting you, you wouldn't have understood. You would have never understood what was actually happening, because that's what happened to me. I was just lucky that Yahweh put me in a space for when that overstanding came, I was sitting quiet. You know what I'm saying? So I could have embraced it. Now, unfortunately, I was in penitentiary, but I was able to embrace it. Which I understand now, that I had no choice but to embrace it. So he sat me down to give it to me, because I was gonna have to guide y'all through that. So because y'all inevitable, y'all would have ended up with it. So if I didn't know how to maneuver through it, y'all would have been fighting and bumping your head, and you'd have been my age, just getting started.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but look, man, I really want to tell you that I'm proud of you, brother. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is the biggest thing, bro. That's all I ever wanted in my life, was to hear my daddy or my mama tell me that they was proud of me, bro. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I make sure that I tell y'all that, and now and I want to do it in front of the world, so that you know that it's not just part of my vernacular. Right. You know what I'm saying? I sincerely am proud of you. You know what I'm saying? You've elevated so much. You know what I mean? And if the world understood, well, some people do know. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So you was literally resurrected, same as me. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I feel it's important that the world understands that we have to start seeing each other. We have to start being each other if we're gonna fix this thing. Because, man, look, the dynamics of this government right now has me so scared of the future of the next 3, 4, 5 years, man. And I gotta be scared for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I really want to be here to help you guys through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fear is not me, but I
You're
really,
not the target.
No, I really,
You're not the
no,
target.
I'm not the target.
No, yeah.
I'm not the target. You know, you young people is the target right now, bro. Y'all on the menu.
Yeah.
And I really need you to help me, you know, which you do. And that's why I'm so proud. But it has to be about educating young people that they're on the menu, right?
Right.
You know, so we have a little opportunity, man, with this election coming up, you know, to put some people
In place.
in place that understand what we're dealing with and what we need.
Right, and I didn't even realize, like, because, you know, in school they touch on the whole checks and balances and stuff, but you never really understand how impactful voting is. You know what I mean? And so when you presented the vote, and you know what I mean, just started to kind of enlighten me on how to go about doing it and why it's so important. It was like, it made me do a little bit of research. So I was like, okay, cool. So we do actually we the people have the power, you guys. It's not the government, it's we the people. So we the people have to be educated enough. We have to be just ready for change. You know what I mean? A lot of people are scared of change. A lot of people, they comfortable with the way it is, and they're not trying to be uncomfortable in no kind of way.
Well, it's kind of hard to see something that, because not everyone is us.
True.
It's kind of hard to know something is there that you can't see. You know what I'm saying? And some people can't see change because they've never seen it. You know what I mean? But that's why, you know, we have to be thorough, man, in letting people know how important it is. That change can happen, but we got to come together to make it happen.
Right.
You know? So we have, man, yeah, it's my birthday, man. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And listen, y'all, it's like, to even just hear her say that, man, you're telling you, man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, we
It's a
gotta-
beautiful thing.
So, again, my background, learning him, he taught himself to forget birthdays, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you
Yes.
heard that story
That's
too.
how you survive.
Forget birthdays, forget holidays, because there is no celebration in that environment.
Yeah.
So you're right. To hear him say, "It's my birthday,"
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
I can
even
see the
I'm-
genuine,
Yeah, she
like,
used
right,
Yeah,
right. And
don't
it took a
remind me
few
it's my
years. I used to
birthday.
have to remind him it's his birthday.
bro.
So,
bro.
but this year it was like different. You know my birthday coming. You know my birthday. So
yeah, man,
just
celebrate
to come,
yourself. I'm
Yeah.
proud of
Yeah.
you, bro.
But look, son, I love you, man. It was so good having you, brother. But you shouldn't be a stranger, man. You need to come back. We need to get some more interviews with you to see your progress, man. You know.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely here for it, man. Any way I can be of service, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, Pops. I want to be the bridge. You know what I mean? I told you that all the time. Like, I truly feel like I'm the bridge to the newer generation or the younger generation and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other people who feel the same way, just like me. So if you do have somebody who can guide you, don't be ashamed, don't be scared to express the message to the younger generation, because they might need to hear it from one of us.
So how could people reach you, brother? How could people follow you? And
Social media, Butler Jones, Butla Jones, pretty much any platform. I'm on there. You can reach out to me, DM me.
And what do you do? What's your thing?
I'm an artist. I'm also learning to be more business savvy. So like learning financial literacy, trying to spread financial literacy to our people. You know what I mean? Also like our real history, and just the truth in our spirituality. You know what I mean? I feel like those things are detrimental to the black community, so that's where I want to focus my energy at. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Cool.
All right, and then guys, before we wrap up, I did want to let y'all know. So our next meeting is May 21st at Trendy Spaces at 6 p.m. Address is 102 Carmel Drive, Lafayette, Louisiana. Also, remember early voting begins May 2nd to the 9th, and election day is May 16th.